Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kellie Pickler sued after shocking allegations surface in a stunning and unexpected turn of events. Country music star Kellie Pickler has found herself at the center of a legal firestorm that no one saw coming. Known for her bubbly personality, heartfelt songs, and enduring fan-favorite status since her early days on American Idol, Pickler is now facing serious allegations after a bizarre lawsuit was filed against her by none other than the convicted Southport mass shooter, who bizarrely claimed she poisoned him. The lawsuit, filed earlier this year but only recently gaining attention, has left fans, the entertainment industry, and even legal experts shaking their heads in disbelief. For a singer who has spent much of her career uplifting audiences with her music and charisma, the case represents an unprecedented and deeply strange chapter in her life. The origins of the allegation, the roots of this controversy trace back to August 2025, when tragedy struck in Southport, North Carolina. A gunman opened fire in a shocking mass shooting, leaving multiple victims and an entire community scared. In the aftermath, investigators identified and arrested the perpetrator, who was swiftly charged and convicted. But in a move that seemed ripped straight out of a bizarre tabloid headline, the convicted shooter, already behind bars, filed a lawsuit naming Kellie Pickler as a supposed conspirator. According to his handwritten filings, he alleged that Pickler had poisoned him in the weeks leading up to his violent act, claiming that her influence twisted his mind, and that she was somehow responsible for his deteriorating state. On its face, the claim was nonsensical. Pickler had no connection to the shooter, no ties to the incident, and no apparent reason to even be involved. But in the modern media climate, where wild accusations can spread quickly, the story took on a life of its own. Kellie's response: Pickler, who has always maintained a relatively private life since stepping back from the constant spotlight, was said to be heartbroken and horrified when she first learned of the allegations. A close family friend revealed Kellie couldn't believe her name was dragged into something so dark and tragic. She has always tried to be a positive light in people's lives, and suddenly she's being accused of something not only false but cruel. Through her representatives, Pickler immediately denied the allegations and filed motions to have the case dismissed. Her legal team described the lawsuit as frivolous, defamatory, and dangerous. But while the courts will likely throw out the case on legal grounds, the court of public opinion has proven harder to manage. A career of positivity overshadowed for longtime fans. Seeing Pickler's name attached to such headlines has been deeply unsettling. The country singer rose to fame in 2006 as a contestant on American Idol, where her humor, charm, and powerful vocals made her an instant favorite. She went on to release hit albums, earn critical acclaim, and even win Dancing with the Stars in 2013. Pickler also co-hosted a daytime talk show, Pickler and Ben, which further showcased her warm, relatable personality. Through the years, she's been admired not just as an entertainer, but also as a philanthropist, particularly for her work supporting U.S. military members and their families. To see her legacy now tangled with a bizarre lawsuit has left both the public and those close to her frustrated. One Nashville industry insider summed it up: "This is a woman who has dedicated her career to lifting people up. To tie her name to something as heinous as a mass shooting is not only unfair, it's downright cruel." The media circus, as the allegations circulated, tabloids and online outlets seized the story, often framing it with sensationalized headlines that hinted at scandal. Social media added fuel to the fire, with conspiracy theorists latching on to the bizarre claims and spinning their own narratives. Within days, hashtags linking Pickler's name to the Southport shooting began trending on platforms like X, formerly Twitter. Some fans rushed to her defense, while others, influenced by the noise, demanded answers. Pickler herself chose not to feed the frenzy, limiting her public comments and focusing instead on the legal process. Insiders described her as leaning heavily on her faith, family, and close friends during the ordeal. The broader issue of celebrity lawsuits, while the allegations against Pickler are unusual, the situation is part of a broader pattern in which high-profile figures become targets of outlandish lawsuits. Legal experts note that in the U.S., anyone can file a lawsuit for nearly any reason, even if the claims are baseless. Attorney Rachel S. Whitman explained high-profile individuals often find themselves on the receiving end of frivolous lawsuits because their names carry weight in the media. Even if the claims have no merit, the damage comes from the publicity surrounding them. For Pickler, this has meant seeing her name unfairly associated with one of the darkest tragedies in recent memory, a connection she and her team are working tirelessly to erase. The emotional toll privately. Sources say the ordeal has taken an emotional toll on the singer, who has already endured more than her share of personal heartbreak. In 2023, Pickler's husband, songwriter Kyle Jacobs, died by suicide, a devastating loss that left her reeling. Since then, she has kept a lower profile, focusing on her healing journey and quietly supporting causes close to her heart. Now, with this lawsuit forcing her name back into headlines under grim circumstances, those close to her worry about the impact. Kellie has always been strong, but she's human, a friend shared. This kind of stress, after everything she's already been through, is just cruel. She deserves peace. Fans rally in support. Despite the negative attention, Pickler's loyal fan base has rallied around her. Social media pages and fan clubs have launched campaigns defending her, emphasizing her long history of kindness, charity work, and positivity. Many have shared stories of how Pickler's music and personality touched their lives, arguing that the allegations are not only false but incompatible with who she truly is. One fan wrote, "Kellie Pickler helped me through some of the hardest times in my life with her songs. To think she could be tied to something like this is ridiculous. I stand with her 100%. This groundswell of support has served as a reminder of Pickler's enduring impact, even in the face of controversy. Looking ahead, while the lawsuit is still technically pending, most legal analysts expect it will be dismissed. The shooter's claims lack evidence, credibility, or any clear connection to Pickler. However, the stain of the headlines may linger longer than the case itself. Pickler's team is reportedly considering taking action of their own, exploring the possibility of countersuing for defamation, or at least ensuring that false narratives are corrected in the public record. For Pickler personally, the focus remains on healing, music, and protecting her legacy. Insiders hint that she has quietly been writing new material and may eventually channel her experiences, the grief, the healing, and even the bizarre legal ordeal, into her art. Conclusion: the allegations against Kellie Pickler represent one of the strangest, most unsettling celebrity legal stories in recent memory. While most recognize the lawsuit as baseless, the mere fact that her name has been linked to such darkness has left fans and the public shocked. Yet through it all, Pickler's resilience, the support of her fans, and her undeniable legacy as a beloved country star remain unshaken. In the end, while false accusations can stir chaos, they cannot erase the truth of who Kellie Pickler is. A singer, a storyteller, a survivor, and above all, a woman who has consistently chosen to be a light in a world that too often feels heavy with darkness.